Hello everyone, I'm George Hammond. In this video I'm going to be reviewing and demoing Light&Sounds Chamber Strings. I've been experimenting with this library over the last week or so, and I have to say it is one of the best chamber sized libraries I have ever used and I have ever heard. The sound of it to me is so realistic and dry, and it's not really cinematic like a lot of chamber string libraries are. To me this library feels slightly grittier and closer to classical chamber strings rather than the modern cinematic ones that you often hear. It feels raw and powerful, but can also handle soft patches as well. Let's take a listen to some of the articulations to see if you agree. There are quite a lot of articulations in this library, so if you'd like to skip to my final thoughts and summary, go to the timestamp on the screen now. Here are the legatos long. Those were the legatos long. Next up, let's listen to the legato dynamic longs. Now let's take a listen to the legato tremolos. And now let's take a listen to the longs. Now let's take a listen to the dynamic longs, and I want to quickly point out that I'm not using any external reverb on these libraries at all. These are all the stock settings of the library. Let's take a listen to the dynamic longs. Now let's play the final long, the tremolo longs. Did you recognise that clip there? If so, let me know down in the comments. I really like the tremolos in this library. I think they have a very full and almost sinister tone to them, which I think will fit right into my productions. Next up, we have an articulation reserved only for the first and second violins. This is one of my favourite articulations in this library. It has so many great uses. Definitely one I will be using a lot in the future to help build tension. I'm pretty sure it's sol pont, but they haven't named it. They've just put it as FX. Let's take a listen. To me, that sounds wonderful. And now let's move on to the shorts. The length of the shorts can be controlled by the speed control on the right hand side underneath the mutes button. This mutes button will apply concertino to the entire library when you turn it on. If I quickly just turn that on and select legatos here with the mute, this is what the concertino mute sounds like. And now if we turn off the mousse, so as we can tell, that turns on the concertino. I'm not 100% sure if it's real recorded concertino or if it's just an EQ effect they've put on, but I like the sound of it. Whatever, it sounds nice to me. And the speed control, which is why I opened up Contact here, the speed control down here, it uses the time machine, which is a feature inside Contact, and it uses this to control the length of the shorts articulation, which is quite nice because most libraries have Time Machine as a completely separate patch, which means you have to load it on top if you want to control the length of the shorts. Some of these shorts do have a little bit of noise in them, especially the Colengos. However, if you fiddle with the mic positions, you can minimise this. It is only really an issue of a very fast repetitive passage, as this allows the noise to build up, but they are definitely still usable, and these articulations are great for ostinatos. Let's take a listen to the shorts on their default settings. As you can hear, they sound really nice, and what is great about the shorts is you really get to hear that room sound, but being this a chamber string library, and I believe it was recorded in a small studio, though please feel free to correct me, as far as I'm aware it was in a smallish studio, but it's got a really nice room sound to it. If we listen to the viola shorts again, you can really hear that there. I love to test the short articulations on the viola. I think it's really great for getting to know the sound of the room, so let's take a listen. Sounds wonderful. Let's listen to the pizzicato now. So those were the pizzicatos. I think they have a lovely sound to them. Let's take a listen to one of my favourite articulations, Col Lengo. I love this articulation on strings. And if you don't know what a Col Lengo is, it's when you get the bow of your instrument and you turn it over so the wooden side is facing the strings, and then you hit the string with the wooden side, and it makes this really nice effect sound to it. And it's kind of hard to tell pitches with Col Lengos. Normally you can only kind of read tell if it's quite low or quite high, but I think these sound wonderful and they are very usable. However, as I said before, if you have a very fast repetitive passage, you might get a bit of noise build up. However, I found it to not be too bad, but it really depends on the mic positions you have selected and the passage you are playing. Let's take a listen to them here. Let's take a listen to the doubles, which is a really nice sounding articulation, especially on the double bass. I think it sounds great on the double bass. Let's take a listen here. When using this library, don't forget to experiment with the sustain pedal, as this affects the way a note is played. Longs, for example, will play through the sample from crescendo to the sustain and hold until released. If not using the pedal, the short note will transition into the center of the sample. Because what is great about this library, this L&S Chamber Strings library, is it really is built for playability. It's one of the most playable libraries just straight out the box I think I've ever used. It is wonderful. And what is also included, which really also helps with this playability, is an ensemble patch, which is really great just for sketching down ideas quickly without really worrying about how you would visi and orchestrate it. That can wait for later. Let's take a listen to this chord progression using the longs on the ensemble patch. And now let us take a listen to the divisied version. Doesn't that sound lovely? L&S Chamber Strings also includes a room tone patch. Here it is, and halfway through I've boosted the audio by 12.5 decibels. Let's take a listen to this. As you can see, L&S Chamber Strings comes with a really nice selection of articulations and mic positions, allowing you to delve straight into composing. The recommended retail price of the library is $300, however, it is currently retailing at 50% off, and I'd highly recommend this library to anyone. The price is unchallengeable for the content. I do want to quickly say that I was provided an NFI code for this library by Light&sounds. However, it has not impacted my view on the library. However, I am very, very grateful. I honestly think this is one of the best string libraries out there on the market. To me, it is the most raw sounding string library I have ever come across. It is really versatile and a library that I know I will be able to use basically no matter what the project is. Whether that be to double up a line or as the main instrument, I know I have full confidence that this library will be able to do it, and I trust it so. Overall, I'd rate this library around 8.5 out of 10. It is honestly wonderful. I've been George Hammond. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to like this video and perhaps subscribe to the channel. Good day.